So who would like to recap?
I will.
Well, great.
Okay, so we took off from the spaceport and we went to the asteroid where the pirate attacks had been reported. I don't think we stopped there before we started looking around for the pirates. But we kind of made our way around the space around the port. We were intercepted. We eventually were intercepted by the pirates, and they demanded we turn over our valuables. I distinctly remember saying, "Oh hell no!" And then we engaged them in combat. We had the upper hand, mostly because our ship was actually a warship, and theirs is a merchant ship. So it wasn't quite a war of attrition, but there was some back and forth. But we eventually convinced them to surrender. Belloryn very convincingly persuaded them to go down to Scandalar, report to SP, and turn over a new, more legitimate leaf after they had told us that they had turned to piracy after having everything that they had destroyed by ice giants. But after we kicked their ass, Belloryn was able to convince them to do something less illegal and harassing. So then we went back to the asteroid, rested up. Then we took off toward Bral. Aezsh received a message from his brother. He still didn't have any information. I believe he said that Zyron said that he still didn't have any conclusive evidence on where their parents were. He told him that we were on our way. And then we got intercepted by a giant ship that was crewed by beholders. They hailed us. I got poisoned again. They asked us if we had seen any of their kind, and we, not really thinking about the consequences of telling a whole bunch of beholders that they should go towards Andrel, we told them that we mentioned the one that we saw while we were getting the meteor, and they very graciously let us go. And I think that's pretty much where we left off.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so Belloryn, you pilot the Whistling Meteor on the next jump to the Rock of Bral. You come out of spelljamming speeds, and before you is a massive asteroid with a flat top upon which hundreds of buildings have been constructed. There's a blue star far, far away, providing very little light and certainly no warmth. There's a colored ball that's glowing a soft orange above the city. This is truly the crossroads to the entire sphere. Anything can be found here for the right price, and this is your entryway to the larger universe.
All right.
So, Belloryn,
Yes.
you've been gone for 4 years. You last saw your butler, Edward, who basically raised you when he gave you a bag full of coins and sent you on your way to supposedly business school, but you had other plans in mind. You saw your parents briefly at graduation before fleeing a scheduled meeting with your father. You haven't seen anybody from Bral in all that time, and you are coming home. What are you thinking? What's going on for Belloryn?
I'm excited to be there without parental stuff to do. There's lots of Rock of Bral stuff that I have been fascinated with forever, but have not really been allowed to go out and play with, and am as it's coming up, there are these feelings of excitement and possibility that were always there about this place, but I felt like a prisoner in my own house.
So what are you hoping will happen, or what are you thinking you want to accomplish coming to the Rock?
The main thing is I want to see what the deal is, or at least if I can engage the trail on the Mind Flayer connection with my dad. That's super troubling.
Yep. Yeah, that vision that you had of Maximilian sitting in a conference room having a chat with Mind Flayer. Great. Okay, Aezsh, you never really even stopped here. This was a bounce point for you en route from Zanzivis 9 to Andrel. But you're coming back. You haven't seen your parents for a while. They didn't come to graduation as expected, and you're on their trail. What's Aezsh thinking, and what's he kind of hoping will be found here at the Rock?
He is definitely hoping to, like, key directive is to meet up with his brother and see what information that he has found regarding their Aezsh and Enid's missing parents. He wants to, pick up that trail as quickly as possible before it goes cold. He also has some other business he needs to attend to regarding some information he's received that he has to go do some personal stuff. But the big important thing at the moment is meeting up with Zirin. Also, if he gets the chance to go to the Library of Twilight, he would like to do a bit of research there while we're already here.
Excellent. Cool. Dear Falcon, you know of the Rock. Your family spoke of it many times. You've obviously bounced through here. Now you're a graduate of the Eggport Adventuring Academy. You have a ship, and you're triumphant, basically, hopefully in the eyes of your father, whom you know how to get to from Brawl. What is Dear Falcon thinking about coming to the Rock of Bral, and what's he wanting to accomplish?
Mostly, like, throughout this entire thing, Dear Falcon wants to gain more of the qualities that will make him an effective captain and not just a pilot. That is his ambition. He doesn't want to be equal to his father. He wants to be greater than his father. He wants to accomplish more than his father ever did. Greater than him and his sister combined. Although, ever since they went out to find that damn meteor in the middle of nowhere, he's been savaged by undead creatures, had to walk through the dark while everyone else could see, poisoned twice, and right now he just wants to stab something.
Fantastic. Grikiki, you are on this fabulous voyage, really, into the unknown, into the sea of stars. You were raised on the sea, and now you're going into this larger, wider world, and really symbolizes that further opening. What's going through Grikiki's mind going towards the rock?
She is just so overwhelmed and excited by the like immensity of the Rock of Bral and everything that she's never seen before. But like trying to remind herself, like, no, we're here to save Aezsh and Enid's parents. Like, we're here to do something important, and I have to help them and be helpful. But it's hard because there's just this like childish like thrum of like Christmas, Christmas, Christmas.
Yeah, I mean the greatest crossroads of the whole galaxy, just all available to you. And Kida, you obviously bounced through here on your way from the monastery that they sort of like kicked you out of almost. When they sent you off to the Igford Adventuring Academy, you have a thing, a book that you can't decipher. You have a symbol, a necklace that you know now is of the Rose and Thorn Society. You're the only tabaxi that you've ever known or seen, except for that one that you saw in the vision of the fountain. What's going on for Kida at this point?
Kida's basically kind of focused on helping find Aezsh's and Renee's parents, but kind of in the back of her mind is going to be on the lookout for the symbol and anyone who looks like her or any word of like people, other tabaxis or things like that. Just kind of focused on the thing at hand, but also like, hey, I'm going into space. Maybe I'll find kind of an answer as to where it came from.
Excellent. Cool. And Ratha, you have briefly been to the Rock of Bral before, when your parents came to Andrel to take up the posting of ambassador. You have left your parents behind. They seem, proud of you, although when your father was not super excited for you to be an adventurer per se. You know that your mother, Mirais, is unwell and only has a finite amount of time, which for elves is unheard of. What are you doing on this ship? Where are you going? What's happening with Ratha?
She definitely wants to come here to go to the I can't remember, the library or Twilight, to see if she can get any kind of answers, and she will like dig and dig and dig until she gets something about her family's situation. She's concerned about Aegis's parents, like probably is worried that something may have happened, but is also kind of like, but we'll figure it out kind of situation. She's there to help them out, but mainly needs to get to the libraries to find out some answers.
Great. Okay. Anything else anybody would like to add about what's going on for them?
Yeah, something I forgot to mention. Falcon is a total tsundere.
Wait, what is that?
That's somebody who cares a lot about other people, but will do anything to not show it. And he's actually grown to care a lot about Aezsh, Enid, and Belloryn, and is really concerned about their parents, but he will not show it under any circumstances if he can get away with it. Because he sees the whole class as his crew, and he's loyal to his crew.
Excellent. Okay.
I can say some of what Enid was interested in.
Oh, sure. Yeah, sorry, I skipped her because she wasn't going to be here, so I didn't want
Yeah, she left me with some things that she was interested in when getting here. And so Enid obviously is very concerned with her parents, is looking to get any information out of Aezsh's brother that she can. She's also seeking other information from the Library of Twilight, especially to do with the vision that she had while at the fountain. And as well as some other like personal quests that she wants to find information about also at the Library of Twilight. So that aside from her parents, that's her key thing that she wants to go do is go visit that library and find answers.
Cool. Good.
Kiki wants to try new foods that she has never tried before, and drinks. Foods and drinks. We're stopping at the food court of Bral.
Kida wants to try new people that she's never eaten before. Okay, so you are on approach to the Rock of Bral. As you're approaching, a bull-shaped ship flies almost not right at you, like it's kind of like side-swiping you. They're definitely moving very aggressively. Belloryn, go ahead and give me a dexterity check with your spell jamming proficiency added to avoid getting buffeted by this brutish bull-shaped ship.
All right, and with the spell jamming proficiency, is it just +2 or what's the +2? Okay, so 15.
Okay, you managed to keep the Whistling Meteor more or less on track, and you see the ship fly past, and there's a bunch of Minotaurs on the top deck jeering at you as it passes by, and then they hop off to spell jamming speeds. As you approach the rock, you see a ship shaped like a squid take off, and there's probably a half dozen other ships, damselflies and tradesmen, all moving all around the docks. And they initiate a communications, they hail you. And Enid's on comms.
Enid brings up the comms.
This audio comes over. It says, Steel class White Star vessel, come along, bearing 3-2 and put in at dock 6. Welcome to the Rock of Bral.
Our way.
As you get closer to the rock, your air envelope merges with that of the rock, and the smell changes. That dry air that you had of Andrel is replaced with this slightly humid and kind of smoky, hazy air. There's an earthy, mushroomy smell that permeates, as well as a little bit of a curry and a faint perfume. It's very complex.
I'm home.
Yes, exactly. It smells just like home.
Is your Falcon still like sick in the pilot's quarters right now?
You're well. No, you're fine.
Okay.
As you approach the docks, you can actually start to hear the city now. Until it starts to be this living, screaming thing. The lights are brighter and vibrant, casting deep shadows throughout the city. Belloryn, you come into the dock. Go ahead and give me another piloting check to see how gracefully you put it down.
It's gonna be 11.
Okay, you don't break anything, but you do kind of bang up against the dock a little abruptly. You notice there's a couple of elderly men that are kind of pointing and mocking all of the pilots as they take off the land. You pay the docking fee. They give you strict rules: no bloodshed, no mind control. As you debark, you see warehouses, bars, restaurants, brothels, trinket shops, ship supply shops line the docks here. People of all types and races go about their business. The two older men that you saw, they're sitting outside what looks like a pub. One of them says, That takeoff reminded me of lunch with my wife. Because it was graceful and smooth? No, because it felt like it would never end. Ha 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 ha.
Oh!
There is a brief squabble among a band of small creatures, children and goblins and a halfling, before the goblin hits one of the kids in the nose and walks up to you, smiling, missing most of his teeth. I am Hat. I guide you.
Guide me where? We know where we're going.
Oh, you're new. I help guide you.
I'm not new. I've lived here my whole life. We've got it under control.
Kicks at the dock, kind of hangs his head. Looks very sad and pitiful.
Yes, you're very sad and pitiful. If I give you a copper, will you leave us alone and let us off to our business? Copper.
Okay. He screams and he books it because the kids like take off after him after they see him get a copper. Okay, so you guys have disembarked. What's the plan?
Do I know where my brother is to go meet up?
So he told you where you could find him, but you don't remember. You tried remembering last time. You forgot the name of the bar. You also know who he works for and that they have an office on the Rock.
The shareholders
Okay.
company.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah,
Kind
I
of-
guess.
Kind of imagining one of those like shopping mall stand-em-up maps at various.
No. There are no maps. If you don't know where you're going, you deserve whatever you get.
Ah, yes.
You guys approach the kind of first main square. You see a preacher on a box talking about worshiping the great old ones and making sure that you get in good with them before the world is destroyed. You see a half elf walking around with what looks like a miniature dinosaur on a leash. Its eyes burn with hunger and hate. And there's just hundreds of people of all sorts of species and races and creatures all over the place.
Do we know what the species is that looks like a dinosaur?
Ratha might know. If you want to roll nature. Standing on his back legs, he's got tiny little front claws, a huge head, massive teeth.
Yeah, I'm curious. Let me see. I might not know. We'll see. Oh. That was like a 13? Yeah, 13.
It looks like some sort of carnivorous lizard that's about 2 feet tall. They walk past, and it's just like sight after sight like that, like constant, just like shit that you have never imagined before. There's a cart that's enclosed. It doesn't have any wheels, just levitating throughout the square here. You notice a mind flayer walking down the street. No one seems to mind. Just anything you can imagine all around you.
He is
Hey,
like
friends?
so excited. Oh, go ahead.
Friends, you know how you always ask me why I am the way I am? Do you get it now?
I think I have some idea, Belloryn.
Makes
There
a
we
bit
go.
more sense.
Most
we go.
illuminating, yes. Are there any other tabaxi around?
You do not see any tabaxi here.
At least for
He,
once, I'm
like,
not the only
briefly-
human.
follows like the little dinosaur on the leash, and then when that is like gets too far away from the party, she like goes over and like listens to the preacher, and she's just like she's so excited, but maybe she needs to be on a leash. She's very excited.
Grikiki, Grikiki, you see a guy, like a normal human apparently, missing his head, and it's just there's this glowing star above it, in place of his head that just walks right past you, and you're like, ooh, star-headed guy.
Yeah. She like hits Kida. She's like, that guy, his head is a
Oh.
star. His head is a
How does
star.
he eat?
Stop pointing. You're clearly from out of town.
I am from out of town.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but you guys are being unintentionally rude.
Well, the star-headed people don't super mind you pointing and looking, but it's really much cooler if you just let them go by.
Look, if strange children can come up to me and pet my tail, I think they can stand a little bit of pointing and staring.
Fair enough. Do I have any local knowledge that will head us towards like major sort of corporate commerce areas where we might find this?
Yeah, you definitely know where the business district is. You don't know where the shareholder corporation or shareholder company's offices are, but you can get in the right direction.
All right. All right, friends.
Go ahead.
Aezsh, you said shareholders company?
Yes.
Okay, big companies like that are usually in the business district. Follow me. Try not to get too lost. We'll be there shortly.
Okay.
Are there any bars or restaurants on the way? Or
There
like
are-
street carts or
Yes, there are plenty here, and then en route, you imagine there's.
she's asking Belloryn.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I mean, you can see right here. There's like 12, restaurants, bars, things that you can hit up of all kinds of, cuisines that you can't even imagine.
There's plenty. There's plenty. I'd suggest sampling things, because I'm getting the feeling that if you get bogged down in too big a meal, you're going to miss out on something you're going to like later.
I would shank a beholder for a cup of tea right now.
Do not shank anyone on the Rock of Bral under any circumstances.
Oh, yeah. Tell them what happens.
So, remember how the guy said no bloodshed, no mind control? Now,
I vaguely remember that.
Yes, well, let's be less vague about that. There's this really prickly elite guard who really brooks no bullshit, and they will come and pick you up, and then you will be on trial a little later on that day.
Fast?
So, justice is swift and exceedingly complicated. And we don't have an attorney.
I miss home.
Now, when we say bloodshed, does that require the skin to be pierced, or are some friendly brawls acceptable?
Or spilling of blood, meaning death.
My understanding is that the Rock of Bral is very much a letter of the law kind of place. So, no blood drops, you're probably okay, but that's not a distinction that I'm super willing to make.
Grikiki, you see a street cart manned by this like 2 foot tall gray-skinned gremlin thing that has like some static electricity constantly hovering around it, and he uses the static electricity to like fry various bits of meat in his cart and then hands them to customers.
Yes, Grikiki takes off for this cart.
All right, through various hand gestures, because you don't speak this thing's language, you managed to get two different, basically like almost like jerky type street food, like you just eat and walk.
Yes. Grikiki's so excited.
It's amazing. It's quite delicious. It's very different. You're not sure what the meat is, but it's tasty.
Was your falcon able to find anywhere to get a cup of tea?
Yeah, in fact, it does not taste like chicken. Where the two old guys that are heckling the pilots sit, they're at a bar that is apparently it's a pub, but it has like a coffee mug on it. It's called the Spotted Snake, and you're able to go in there and get a decent piece of or decent cup of tea.
Finally. I feel slightly better now.
I would have thought you preferred ale, my friend, considering your pirate proclivities.
There's a few things you don't know about me.
That's probably true.
He sure has gotten sick a lot on journeys, so I'm guessing he's one of those fancy pirates.
Mind what you say, friend.
You didn't have feathers in your pirate hat, so I wasn't sure.
We'll find you some feathers.
I don't need feathers. I just need to be left alone to enjoy my tea.
He does get grouchy around snack time.
Snack time is my favorite time.
Yes, are you enjoying your baby jerky?
Baby jerky?
Yeah,
for
it's human
babies?
baby.
Really?
No, just joking, I think.
I mean,
Smack you on the shoulder. Like,
it is good.
don't do that.
I have to have my fun somehow.
What time of day is it here? Is there like an obvious day-night cycle?
Okay, let me tell you a little bit about daytime around here. Look way up, you see that big orb changing colors? The colors indicate what time of day it is. And what time of day is it now?
It's third orange.
Okay. So my understanding is that's sort of late morning, approaching like 10:30, 11. Okay, cool. So so we're getting on to lunchtime. Well, so there's lots and lots and lots of different colors, but the late orange is going to move us towards the beginning of midday. And so watch from orange to go to yellow, then to green, blue, indigo, violet. And we've got a 28-hour day. So those extra 4 hours are for buying and selling things.
Speaking of, Aezsh, mark off 4 gold.
4.
4.
All right.
They only buy and sell things in that 4 hours?
No, that's extra. That's extra. That's just so that if you haven't found what you need, you have 4 extra hours to do it. It's not like Andrell over here. We take the extra time to make sure we have finished our shopping here on the Rock of Bral.
Is there an ocean on Brawl?
Is there?
Question.
Belloryn, there's a few bodies of water. There is a largish pond next to the thicket. The thicket is the largest grove of trees on the rock, and so there's a little bit of a pond next to that. Some private buildings have their own little ponds and pools. Your parents' mansion has one out back, and then there's the reflecting pool, which is pretty close to the docks here. It's you actually don't know exactly where it is, but it's somewhere nearby, and I already told you what you know about that.
Okay, Grikiki, yes, there are bodies of water. It's not really an ocean. They're more large pools than anything else. Now, for the most part, it's fairly normal. Don't go near the reflecting pool.
Why not?
Because I'm not allowed near the reflecting pool. We're not going near it. I'm not allowed. Now, I know for most things that usually isn't an issue, me being allowed or not, but my mom seemed really, really serious about the reflecting pool, and my dad never said any words about it. So, yeah,
I want to check it out now.
Aezsh, we haven't had the best experiences with man-made bodies of water.
No,
Remember?
we've always
Unjust
figured it
rules were
out.
meant to be broken, though.
I'll go later. Don't worry. You don't have to go with me, Belloryn.
Okay. Well, if you look, I'm not a weenie. If you'll go, I'll go. But
Oh no,
just,
don't
just
worry
understand,
about it. Don't worry about it.
understand that I know that I am not allowed near the reflecting pool.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
I'd rather go by myself anyway.
Was
Can
this
I-
something?
Is the Library of Twilight the building large enough to point out?
Not from where you are.
Okay.
Gary, you have a question?
It was a question for Belloryn. Is that something your mom told you before or after your parents became involved with the mind flayers? I feel like that's relevant.
Erik,
Well, since I only just found out they were involved with the mind flayers, I honestly couldn't tell you. But as you can see, they're around. So, so if you start having thoughts that you didn't expect to have, just maybe take a minute to get it together.
Wait, like
don't keep
what?
it a secret either.
So yes, no one is allowed mind control on the Rock of Bral, but
It
mind
happens.
flayers are so good at it that it would be very difficult to prove they're doing it or not doing it.
And even
I'm
if you
good at drawing blood.
Well,
So if
don't
they
do
control
it.
my mind, can
Do
I draw
not
their
do it.
blood?
Let the elite guard draw blood. They're really, really tough and very impressive, and yeah, I don't need any trouble.
if only they could enforce the restriction on mind control like they enforce the restriction on bloodshed.
Yeah.
That's what the back of the head of the axe is for. Some good bludgeoning.
Look, we just got here. We don't have to get into the intricacies of Rock of Bral politics all in one day.
Belloryn's right. If we're all refreshed, why don't we see if we can go find Zyron?
All right, and walking off towards the business district.
Okay, great. Give me a history check, Belloryn.
I'm proficient in history. I'll assist him with that.
Okay, great.
Okay. $18.
Okay, great. Yeah, you have a pretty good bead on where the business district is. As you move away from the docks, the crowds kind of thin out. Not so that the streets are abandoned at all, but definitely where it's not as many people around. Those of you who are a little bit lighter in gold notice that you're no longer having a constant pickpocketing occur. You notice.
Yeah, did I notice that missing
Very-
gold at any point?
When you go to you did actually. You're like, oh man, yeah. You see a cart that's driven by a centaur pass you in the opposite direction that you're going in. You pass by. There are 4 humanoids covered almost completely in a black cloak, but peering out through each of the cloaks, you see a brass eye patch over the right eye of each of these 4 humanoids. They walk on by on their own business.
What happened to their eyes?
Presumably, they have one missing, or they're part of some sort of clan? Private
Patch
group?
Club?
Pirate? Gear Falcon?
Can I roll history?
Sure.
All right. 12.
No idea. Maybe some kind of clan, cult, gang, who knows?
Nothing known to me.
Maybe we should get matching eye patches.
As you guys turn the corner, you see two absolute horrors round the next corner, and you all briefly have a flashback to a forest clearing and beams of green light being shot at you. 6 legs, a spider body, a long neck, vicious sharp teeth. But after a moment, you realize it's not the same thing that you fought in the forest. It's not as large. There's no green energy lines. It's a dark body, but it's not that like obsidian. And it's clearly not a construct. Walking next to it is a large insectoid creature with massive arms and legs. It looks like it could crush a skull in one hand. Most of you who have been, you all have spelljamming proficiency now, recognize that this is a Neogi with its Umber Hulk servant. Neogi are past masters of business dealings, taking slaves, they trade and everything. But it looks very similar to that creature that you fought in the forest that was birthed by the meteor, but it's smaller and obviously not a construct. Definitely designed on the same lines, I guess.
Is it like Trojan horse to horse? Like, does the construct we saw look like it was built as a representation of this?
That's interesting. Totally plausible. So if you showed someone a picture of a Neogi and asked them to build, a construct that would go in and out and destroy things, that's what they might produce. All right, Belloryn, you're pretty solidly in the business district. You see primarily, well-dressed people walking around here, folks in all sorts of attire, from suits to robes to doublets, generally pretty nicely attired. You also notice some private security is starting to crop up here. So obviously, with the 2 rules of the Rock, you can't get into too much trouble, but as you guys have noticed already, you can get stolen from. So the private security guards wander around the business district, kind of keeping that on the down low.
Does Common on the Rock have slang or any kind of dialectic markers that would?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so I'm going to flag down a passing businessman. So I'm going to aim for finer clothes.
Okay.
And ask in the more aristocratic sort of brawl patois, where the offices for the company.
Okay. So you approach this guy just cold. Give me a persuasion.
$13.
Okay. The guy kind of pauses and looks you up and down and looks at the rest of the crew behind you. And he says, down that street and then take a right.
Insight? Do I sense deception at all?
Hard to say.
All right. Follow me.
Okay. You guys turn the corner, head right, and you do see a building that has a placard. It's a little 2-story stone building, and it says the shareholder company.
That was
there's
a
a
lot.
double.
I was just gonna say.
It looks like it's a building of shaped rock. So somebody used stone shape or some similar magic to create this thing. There's no windows on the first floor. There's some windows on the second floor that have bars around them. There's a double steel door that provides entrance into the building under the label the shareholder company.
Is it common for businesses on Brawl, just like here, to have reception and information?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Aezsh, it's all up to you now. You should see a reception worker up front, and you can ask for your brother. Hopefully, they'll be able to point you in the right direction.
Oh,
Wait, shouldn't some of us go in with him?
Well,
I
we'll go
was
too.
I was thinking wait and find him when he comes out, because I don't remember where he told me to meet him, but I know it wasn't at the office.
Well, if he's not in the office waiting for you, they could tell you where he is.
Yeah. I imagine he probably is in the office.
What's his name?
No, don't go ask for him. No. We'll see when he comes out.
All right.
I can wait. Enid and I can wait here if you want. And you can if you need to go somewhere else. But I'll wait for him to come out, because I don't know. Sometimes the company just gives me the creeps a little bit.
It is kind of creepy. It looks like a prison.
Yeah, they tend to look like that. The buildings. So if we could stay out here, that would be better. I would like that better.
Don't have to tell me twice.
All
I don't
right.
really want to go anywhere that looks like a prison.
So you guys are just going to hang out until closing time, basically?
All right. I am going to.
That or if he goes for like a lunch break and I can grab him like on a lunch break or something.
Sure.
I'm going to engage in some light busking and try to try to perform with prestidigitation, some light show for maybe a little spare coin to keep myself occupied.
Okay, great.
I'm not proficient in performance, but can I sing a sea shanty or something along with it?
Belloryn, is that going to give you advantage or disadvantage?
So, well, personally, I'm never going to say no to a good sea shanty. It better be a good sea shanty.
I'm actually proficient in lyre.
That would help, actually.
Big show, group performance check.
Okay.
I know sea shanties.
Okay, Ratha, Grikiki, Aezsh, Enid, what are you guys doing while they're trying to bust for a coin or two?
Sitting a little ways off, making sure that my money is more secured than it was before.
Okay.
Yeah, I secure my coin, and then I'm like looking at people's animals and all the different pets they have, like whatever, kind of like give something that's kind of like equivalent to a dog. I'm like going up and petting it or whatever.
Aezsh is mostly just watching, not so much watching their performance, but watching the shareholder building because he doesn't want to miss it if Siren leaves.
Got it. And Grikiki, there's a really nice restaurant actually right near here.
Kida, are you hungry?
Ooh. I could eat.
Are you hungry, girl?
Something that just occurred to me. With my courtier background, I have the court functionary trait that allows me to access records and inner workings of organizations.
Okay.
Ooh.
And so maybe without talking to people and freaking Aezsh out, I can see if his brother is signed out somewhere or something.
Yeah, for sure. You still have to go in the building. Like basically,
Okay.
that's a function of them welcoming you and
Sure.
giving you the information.
All right, I said I wouldn't do that.
Okay. Ratha and Ratha, just Ratha. Ratha, as the crew is doing their thing, you hear what you think sounds like someone casting a spell. Moments before, you, Ratha, Belloryn, and Enid all fall asleep.
Lovely.
Magic
anywhere.
can't put me to sleep.
Magic can't put you to sleep?
Yeah,
Yep.
half
Fey
elf.
ancestry.
Yeah, same with Enid.
Yeah, I was like, or wait, hold on.
I think actually it should be all three of them because
Yeah,
elf,
I'm an
elf,
elf.
or elf, and half elf.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I was like, I think I'm resistant to sleep.
Is it immunity or resistance?
It's advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and magic cannot put you to sleep. You just
Okay,
straight up
that's it.
can't be magically put to sleep.
Yeah, because I don't
Like
even
if
sleep
it's-
naturally.
If it's a charm, you have advantage, and if it's a sleep effect, it just doesn't happen.
Okay, then the hit points are going to spill up for the next few people. Kida?
Cool.
Tell me if you're,
Thanks.
it's just going to affect the number of hit points. Kida, Aezsh, you're immune because you're half elf, I guess.
Yes.
And Gear Falcon.
If it puts me to sleep, everybody run.
Yeah.
So what about me? Am I asleep?
You are asleep.
Oh.
That is madness. Okay. All right, so Kida and Gear Falcon fall asleep. Shortly thereafter, 5 figures kind of emerge just from the crowd. These guys all have a lightning tattoo over their right eye. One of them also has a square or a triangle tattoo under one eye. They all look like humans, except there is also an ogre with them. The same tattoo and over his eye. The one with the triangle tattooed under the eye steps forward and says, "All right, well, we don't want any unpleasantness then. Just hand it over, and we'll be on our way."
Hand over
And-
what?
And what over?
The star map?
The star map?
Sorry, we don't have any star maps. We really just learned how to fly our spaceship.
He points at the sleeping Kida and says, "You just got back from Andrel, and that's a tabaxi, and I know what's on it. So hand it over."
Wait, have you met
What?
Tabaxi before?
Can I
Alright,
shake Kida awake?
You can. The ogre kind of steps forward and shakes his head at you as you try to reach and do that. So you can, if you want to continue, it'll be a grapple check.
I'm not gonna try and grapple with an ogre.
Well, we don't have all day.
Magic hand, poke Kida. Mage hand, poke Kida.
Okay, as you start casting, they also start casting. Roll initiative. And
I'm assuming I don't roll because I'm asleep, right?
go ahead and roll because they'll probably wake you up, and all the noise will get us there too. Okay. Great. So there's no surprise round. Ratha. So you see Belloryn start to cast the spell, and all the bad guys start moving in on you to do unpleasantness to you.
I'm gonna run. Is Kida close by to me?
Yeah, she's pretty close.
Okay, I'll head over to her and wake her up.
Okay. Yeah, you spend your action to wake her up. Dear Falcon.
Thought I was asleep.
Thank you. You're asleep. Belloryn.
All right. Prestidigitation, alert the guards.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I was thinking like the guards, yeah.
Give me an Arcana check, please. There are none in sight, but you can probably.
Okay, that's a nat 20.
Nice. Okay.
Wow.
Beautiful.
You make a shower of sparkles and light and noise that will surely bring authorities coming. Aezsh.
The one with the triangle tattoo, did he seem to be the one, was he the one speaking?
He was the one speaking, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Phantasmal Force on him.
Okay, what does
And
that do?
it puts an illusion in his mind that he sees if he fails an intelligence saving throw.
Okay.
DC 13 intelligence saving throw.
Okay. He fails.
Okay. He sees the image of a very angry guard heading his way.
Nice. Okay. Kida, you are woken by Ratha. So you don't know what's happening, right? Like you're just playing your lyre. Now there's like an ogre. There's a bunch of guys with this tattoo. You know, and it looks like that your compatriots are getting ready to throw down. You are prone.
Kida, they're asking to hand over a star chart, and they pointed to you. They put us all to they tried to put us to sleep, but of course, like 3 of us are resistant.
That must be nice.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's an old thing.
I don't know of any star chart. I'm assuming I have to use my action to stand up to do anything.
You can do movement. You can do your movement. It's just half your move to stand up.
Okay, I do that.
Okay.
How close am I to the guy with the triangle under his eye?
You can get to him easily.
Oh, and Kida, like, we're trying to get the guards' attention, so just,
Oh.
No bloodshed.
It's not. I just a little bit of bludgeoning. It's fine. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna attack the guy with the lightning staff with my quarterstaff. Just a good whack.
Okay. Yeah, you close up. Go ahead and roll your hits. So I'll tell you, you can try to hit in like soft, squishy places that will be less likely to actually result in blood. Like if you crack someone in the head with a staff, there's blood
Sure.
all over the place. You can do that with a disadvantage.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, roll 2 hits.
Okay, that's a 14.
Okay, you lash out with your staff towards some squishy bits, and it hits like invisible barrier. He's got some kind of magical armor on him,
Okay,
and it does not land.
got it.
Enid.
Enid is going to look up at the ogre and cast id insinuation.
Okay, what does that do?
It is going to need to make a wisdom saving throw or be incapacitated. DC 13 wisdom save.
Okay, all right. It is not affected.
All right, and that is it for that turn.
Okay. So Belloryn, give me a so that Aezsh, give me a deception check, or a performance or arcana to thinking about this illusionary guard that's coming towards them.
Okay, deception is probably the one I'm gonna go with. All right, yeah, let's go with that. That's a 12 on the deception.
Oh, okay. The leader is not taken in by it. He says to the ogre, grab her. The ogre wades in, Kida, and goes to snatch you. Give me athletics check. Oh my god.
Did we skip my turn, or did they just go
You
before me?
are last.
Okay.
That's a 10.
All right, that is still enough. This thing like fumbles, tripping over your instrument as it goes to grab you, and goes down to a knee. The leader berates him. The others, yeah, they're gonna go ahead and well, first of all, they're gonna cast. And Belloryn, you're magical. Everyone's fucking magical. Okay. $28, $36. All right. Kida, you go out again. But not enough to catch anybody else. All right, Kida is asleep. And then the leader disengages and steps back and just kind of eyes the scene warily. He doesn't seem particularly worried about anything right now. Grikiki.
Grikiki's gonna interpose herself between them and Kida.
Okay.
And she is going to rage.
Yep.
Grikiki. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Do you want to narrate what happens?
Yeah. So you've seen Grikiki rage before, so you've seen her just like just this like fury fill her. But this time, her eyes go over milky white, and she kind of like looks out of it for a second. And probably they don't see what she sees.
You know, I think that the first time is so powerful that there is a spectral image.
Okay, so you guys see sort of above the tattoo, the lightning bolt tattoo guys, sort of emerging from the clouds in the sky, the exaggerated form of this powerful orcish man. And he looks like an idealized form of someone's orc father. He's just enormous and strong and like vital. And then behind him, fanning out, all these other vague orcish figures that are like indefinite. You can't see quite what they look like. Just this big strapping guy with this big beard and like massive muscles. And there's some kind of dialogue that seems to take place between him and Grikiki for a moment. She doesn't say anything and she doesn't seem to see what's happening, but he seems to be talking to her. And it starts to recede and she wallops the guy in front of her in the stomach with her fist.
Okay, great. Roll to hit. Are you going to do this to avoid shedding any blood, so the disadvantage?
Yeah.
Okay.
$16.
Okay. So the ogre kind of went down on one knee, and you approach him, get between him and Kida, and just like slug him right in the gut. He makes this sound as you do. Roll your damage.
All right. I think it's just one because I hit him with my fist.
Okay, plus your strength.
Okay, so
Your rating as well.
so 4 damage.
Okay.
And I'm hitting him with Ancestral Protectors, so he has disadvantage against attacking anyone that isn't me.
Oh, wow.
And anyone that he does attack, they have resistance to the damage that he deals.
Cool. Okay.
And all of these orcish figures come and start swirling around his head, distracting him from anything except Grikiki.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Back to the top, Ratha.
I'm gonna get in front of Kida and I'm gonna wake her up again.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Like, you need to stop.
Kida,
Go to
this is
sleep.
important.
You're going to sleep. All
Who
right.
are these people with the freaking
God.
lightning bolt thing?
Damn, magic. I'm assuming I don't, but is there any way I recognize these people?
You do not. No. Belloryn, what are you doing? You're still muted.
I am going to cast light on my shirt and make myself a massive like come help me beacon to the police.
Okay. All right. Aezsh.
Kida is awake now, yes?
Yes. Awake. Prone.
Okay. Prone, but awake. Okay. He's gonna reach over to Kida and touch her and say, Kida, run, and cast invisibility on Kida.
Oh.
Ooh, nice.
So Kida just vanishes.
What do you, are you trying to like imply anything to your attackers?
What was that?
Is this a gambit? Like, are you wanting them to think something?
No, I'm just trying to get her, like, they clearly seem to be targeting her.
Okay, got it.
I'm trying to just get her to get out of here.
Okay, cool.
The spell has a range of touch, so I have to like lay a hand on her.
All right, Kida. I don't know if you've ever been invisible before. It's a very interesting experience. Like you lift your hand and you're like you can't see anything. It's this nice tingle.
Interesting. Quick question. How long does invisibility last?
You don't know, actually.
Yeah.
Fair. Okay. Okay. What's around us right now?
So around you right now, so there's a restaurant, there's a shareholder company building more or less across the street. There's some other business buildings. There's a couple of four-way intersections, both to your right and your left. You do hear some running feet down the intersection to the left that is presumably guards.
Might I add an unconscious pirate?
Oh yeah, and Deerfeld.
Okay, I'm gonna head towards where there's presumably guards.
Okay.
And
There's no other. Everybody else has cleared the streets. There's a conversation.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm gonna use feline agility to double my speed. So I use half my 20 feet to get up, and then I can run like 60 feet.
Okay, great. Give me a stealth check.
That's a nat 20.
Oh my God.
Plus 5 if it matters.
You're invisible forever.
This is my new life, guys.
Just vanish from
Right.
existence.
No, yeah, and you guys have no idea where she is either. Enid.
Okay. Enid's gonna look back at the ogre or at the leader this time and say, I said stop it, and try and cast insinuation on that guy.
Okay.
So it's a DC 13 wisdom save.
Okay. Yep, he makes it again.
It's like it's just not working.
Okay. The sleepers all they help their ogre get up, and they all bail.
Bail.
They run. The leader points back. He says, "We'll get you yet."
You and your little cat too.
They turn around the corner just before the guards peel around the corner. Kida, you almost run smack into the guards, but your feline senses kind of hole up. They do bump. Well, no, you're they'll go around you. So the guards show up. What are you guys doing?
I am making a report.
Is anyone going to wake up to your falcon?
I'll wake
Yes,
him up.
anyone gonna wake up to your falcon?
I wake up to your falcon.
Roger's just over here shaking people awake repeatedly.
You were all right. You needed
Poison
some rest.
twice, paralyzed, set to sleep.
Kida, are you going to keep running, or what's your plan
I'll follow behind the guards.
now? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Pink Panther music starts playing in the background.
Okay, Belloryn, so you give a full report to the guards. They
Yes.
nod. They're like, yeah, that's the sleeper gang. They don't usually come around here. I don't know. We'll keep an eye out.
What are we supposed to do? We can't shed blood. What kind of rules are there for self-defense around here?
I mean, you just avoid them.
Okay. We're in the business district. We're not supposed to be attacked by gangs in the business district.
Well, we'll keep a closer eye out.
Thank you. Sort of haughtily.
Can I trip them with my quarterstaff as they leave?
Yes. Yeah, you trip them, you come out of invisibility, they tumble down. There's suddenly a tabaxi there they didn't see before.
Yeah, as soon as you do that, the invisibility breaks.
Oh, okay.
You guys see Kida appear just a little ways away. She wanders back over.
Grikiki comes out of her rage,
Okay.
panting. Looks a little confused.
Ratha woke up, Falcon.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
have to
you slept
explain
through the whole thing, so Falcon has no idea what just happened.
So
Right.
you just missed like a whole fight.
I shoot up, I draw my pistol and my rapier, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
It's better you were
No
asleep. You
bloodshed.
don't do
bloodshed.
anything that doesn't make people bleed.
True.
That's true.
Warning shots don't make people bleed.
Just put down the gun.
Everything's fine now. It's all good.
We got the guards.
Yeah, the guards are. We filed a report.
I want another cup of tea. Now.
That tea
We'll get you some
sounds
tea.
lovely. I have so many questions.
Yeah, we have a lot of questions for you too.
Kida,
Yeah.
it seems like you should probably not go alone.
Yeah.
They really wanted you for some reason.
Seems to be the case. I perhaps suspect it might have something to do with the tabaxi I saw in my vision back in Andro. Maybe something in that pyramid that we did not end up exploring.
I guess so, because they just said that you're a tabaxi from Androl, and they were just like,
They knew you had
hand
Star
over the
Trek.
star chart.
Well, that's unfortunate. Perhaps I should get a hood or something. Do we have anything I could wear like as a hood to over my ears?
We could buy you a hat.
I was like, yeah, we can get. Belloryn surely would be happy to buy you.
Does anyone
Nice
have
little
a
hood.
Does anyone have a disguise kit? It is a tool that you can.
I was wondering if I have.
Uh,
I don't know if I do.
I
Don't.
Nope, herbalism kit.
I have cook's
I do
utensils.
Yeah.
It's clearly much more useful.
I don't
We
think
can buy you anything I can possibly conceive of around here.
Oh, please pick something awesome.
The goal is to not stand out.
Well, we can handle that, although I don't know what kind of fun that is.
I will loan you my hat until we can find you something else.
Thank you.
the Assassin's Creed like thing that's supposed to be incognito, but it like sticks out because no one else wears it.
Right.
Thank you, Mary Catherine. I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah, is it like a pirate hat? Wait, does,
Yeah, that's what I was
does
wondering,
your
is your
Falcon
hat-
wear a pirate hat?
Yes, yes, he does.
Excellent. I just kind of tuck my ears in as best I can.
Totally blends in with the rest of your outfit.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yep. Matches perfectly with my monk outfit. This is
Yeah. You look great, Kida. Love it.
good. What was that?
We should all get pirate hats, like they all had tattoos.
Yeah, we could be like our own gang.
Boy,
Yeah.
not sure how I feel about that.
Instead of the eye patches.
Yeah, I think I'm a pass on that one. You guys can if you want, but I'll pass.
Or friendship bracelets. The real gang.
Aezsh just points to the
Friendship
eyebrow
gang.
stud.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have these.
Oh,
We're already in a gang.
yeah.
Yeah, but the piercings are cooler than the lightning tattoos anyway.
And actually, that you guys do put a couple of pieces of information together. So you have noticed that all the people that have some kind of like association identity type thing, like the brass eye covers were all on the right, the lightning bolt was all on the right. It seems like the culture is that's how you identify with your group, is you do some kind of adornment to your right eye.
Interesting. We're like part of their culture now. We're like adults or something.
Where is our eyebrow ring?
It's right at the edge of your eye. It's a stud. It's not a ring.
stud.
It's a stud embedded into the bone.
The bone of the right eye, though?
It's intense.
Will people recognize?
What's that?
Will people recognize us as belonging?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's like-
if they have a clue, but
Oh, so it's like an implant on Star Trek.
yeah, it's exactly like. Yep. Okay, so you guys gonna do anything before Zyron comes out?
I did want to ask, is there somewhere in the city, presumably, that's considered kind of an information broker guild?
You gonna ask Belloryn?
Yeah.
I'm sure there is. All of the information just came to my house, but
Rich folk.
I'm pretty sure if we go out, we could find somebody who gives information or news or something like that.
Can I roll insider history to try and figure out what that might be?
Yeah, history.
Okay. 6.
Okay. Yeah.
Belloryn, is there a place on Brawl that you could get a tattoo?
Yes.
You passed several actually just on your way here.
Not right now, but I need to get a tattoo.
Any particular tattoo?
Of what?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay. Well,
When we
yes, we can arrange that.
All right. Yeah.
When we have a spare moment, I would like to see if we could find out more about the Sleeper Guild, because I don't particularly like being put to sleep in the middle of the street.
Me neither.
Not great.
Why did they just put you guys to sleep?
I just kind of look up at her. Perhaps we were the easier targets.
Yeah, I think the sleep
Yeah.
just doesn't really do much on us. And I like look back and forth at the other elf and half elves. Doesn't really do much on us, so that's probably why it hit you.
So Zyron doesn't come out for lunch. So for the afternoon, you guys can either all camp out here, or if you want to split up and do different things, you can do that. So speaking of information, I mean, when you guys got off the Whistling Meteor, I mean, there was a brawl to see who could help you. So you're pretty confident if you just go back to the docks and like grab any of those, helpful urchins, like you could eventually like march your way up to someone important from there pretty easily, you think. And Deer Falcon and Grikiki, you're both reasonably adept at that. Does anyone have Sailor? Yeah, Grikiki. Yeah,
Sailor's camp.
Yeah, you can if you were in the docks, you can totally get to someone who has information without any difficulty.
If y'all want to go back, don't feel bad. Like Enid and I can wait here. If y'all want to go seek out more information at the docks, we'll just join back up with you at the ship later.
Will you be safe here by yourself?
I mean, at least from the sleeper gang, I think we'll be okay.
I mean, there's probably other gangs.
Probably.
If something happens, can you send us a message?
I don't know.
You do have your familiar.
That's
Right?
true. I can send my familiar back that way. If you see the bird show up at the ship, something probably went wrong.
We'll come running.
If we see a seagull show up,
If you see this, yeah, if you see the seagull show back up at the ship.
That was the familiar.
Tell the
Yeah.
seagull. Can you tell it to find us?
I mean, it can try. It's a seagull.
What if we carry French fries?
But not Alka-Seltzers.
That might help. That might help.
Okay, so you guys are gonna split up Aezsh, you guys are gonna camp out, everybody else is gonna head back to the box.
Yeah, let's go find information.
Okay. 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 So you guys are headed back to the docks. Yeah, no problem. You're able to navigate that relatively readily. As you do so, one of the so Kida, since you have your eyes out, you do spot two tabaxi that have these long spears and distinct metal collars around their neck. Otherwise, no clothing at all. They are flanking a human that's dressed very richly. You kind of see them walking down a street as you're passing along.
Okay, interesting. I try and run up and talk to them.
Okay. So you guys see Kida just take off.
I follow after her.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll follow, but kind of hang back.
Okay.
We all run at the tabaxi.
Yeah, I was like, I'll hang back with Belloryn.
Dear Falcon, Ratha, and Belloryn, give me a history check on this one.
A what check?
History.
History. Okay.
I feel like they're gonna be slaves, and I'm gonna be very
14.
unhappy.
8.
10.
Okay. All right. So Kida, you run up. So they're at this point they're all walking away from you. How are you going to interact with them?
I was gonna say, like, is there any tabaxi thing? But I wouldn't know, would I? I call out, excuse me, fellow tabaxi, my countrymen.
Okay. In common.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I know specific to tabaxi now. So.
Okay. You call out to them, and the very richly dressed human kind of pauses and turns over his shoulder. Everybody, give me an insight check here.
Very poorly. That's a 7.
17.
Okay. Geo Falcon? 7. Great. Belloryn, the look that this person throws as they're turning over their shoulder at Kida is a mixture of surprise and anger and greed. They turn fully around. You notice it's a male. He's dressed up in this kind of over the top, almost like how the mind flayer is dressed, like this huge cone collar behind him, these rich purple robes. He's got a rod in his hand. The two naked tabaxi males turn around and regard you. Give me an insight check for the tabaxi, everybody.
I'm using a point of inspiration on this one.
Okay, great.
It's a 16 and a and a 10, so 16.
Okay.
A 15.
Kida and Deer Falcon, they seem momentarily surprised, and then they look like they kind of have like an inner struggle. You guys don't even need an insight roll for this. The street has cleared.
Oh boy.
Oh.
The richly dressed human is kind of whacking their rod. Just, it looks like he's eyeing this tableau right now, like thinking what he wants to do.
Kida, I don't know about those two tabaxi, but I don't think the human has your best interest in heart right now.
And you're about 50, 60 feet away from them, so a bit of space between you.
Okay. What? Now, I quick question: were there slaves on Andrel?
There were not.
Okay. I've only heard in passing, but is this perhaps a situation of enslavement? Do not like the looks of that human at all.
I am human, and I don't like the look of him either.
Ratha and Deer Falcon, give me another history check with that suggestion from Kida.
That's a much better roll. Non-natural 20.
Oh, nice.
Never mind.
Okay,
I got a 7.
Ratha, as Kida mentions slaves, you're like, oh shit. This is noblemen of the Antillean Empire, which is a human empire. They are known for keeping slaves of all sorts of races. And so you're like, oh yeah, 100%. This is an Antillean noble. These are his guards. They're not like evil per se, but the elves have a very tense relationship with the Antillean Empire. They're regions that butt each other. So there's a fair amount of diplomacy back and forth. Your father has said that the Antilleans are very proud and very dangerous.
Doesn't matter, Kida. He can't do anything to you.
That's true, actually, since we aren't supposed to get into fights, supposedly.
But let's also not find out.
Right.
It's probably time to leave.
I know where the tabaxi are from.
Just sitting there, kind of whacking the rod, thinking.
Do I know of like any kind of cultural thing, like how to approach the noble? Like,
Yeah,
is it okay
yeah.
for her to like try to talk to the slaves, like by honoring him or something?
Yeah, that's a good question. So yeah, they're very proud people. They have a very strong caste-based society. So you, as an ambassador's daughter, could totally go up and like present yourself and interact with this person in a reasonable way. You don't know what the deal is with the tabaxi. Like the way that they're looking at, but like this person is ignoring the rest of you. He's only looking at Kida. So you don't know what that's about.
Interesting. Can we see any guards around?
Like as far as you know from the Antillans, the slaves like don't exist. Like they're just like it's a wrench, like you don't think about your wrench, right? All right, Kara, say again.
Do we see any guards around?
No, there is nobody. The streets are cleared out. Everybody else knows something as Everyone else knows something is up. You guys do not. I am going to head back to Aezsh.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello.
So the rest of the crew heads out. You and Enid
All right.
are left here in the business district.
Cool. So while they're waiting by themselves, Aezsh is going to tell her most of what he saw in that dream last night, though he is going to leave out the my servant bit
Okay.
because that would freak her out. And so like now she knows why he was so keen on going to the reflecting pool, which she now I'm actually messaging Renee back and forth.
Oh, cool.
So cause she told me she could live message back and forth. She just couldn't be on the call.
Okay.
She said that Enid would very much be wanting to join Aezsh if he's going, like when he goes to the pool.
Okay. Is she encouraging him to go?
No, she's not encouraging him to go, but if he's going, which he is going, she's not going to let him go by himself.
Okay.
But she said she's probably going to Enid's a little on edge by that because she's not like a huge fan of the patron. She's a little freaked out by the patron. So that's why she doesn't want to like leave Aezsh by himself for that.
Okay. Cool.
So, but
So
other than that, they're just kind of discussing that sort of thing while they're waiting. They're watching the building for Zirin to come out and just keeping a wary eye around them in case anyone else tries to come up and jump them for some reason.
Okay. So you're if Zirin keeps typical hours, and actually from talking to him, you have the impression that he works a lot. So you're not sure that he would get out even like at normal quitting time. But you reckon you've got at least 3 or 4 hours before it's likely that he could pop out. You do have time, probably, depending on where the pool is, to find a pool.
Okay, if there's enough time for that before the end of working hours, and Aezsh knows that, then he and Enid would probably go ahead and try and go find the pool at that point in time.
Cool. Okay, you ask people directions, etc.
Yeah, just asking for directions to get to the reflecting pool.
Give me an insight check for both of you.
Okay. Well, Aezsh rolled a 1 plus 2, so 3. But Enid rolled a lot better. Enid rolled a 16.
Okay. Enid notices, and if you can message her this, that would be interesting, that the people that you ask for directions, they get like this pitying look in their face when they give you those directions.
Okay. So just curious how would she respond to that?
I'm curious about what her reaction is.
Okay. I just messaged her that. She's typing a response back right now. But yeah, so Aezsh doesn't notice at all, presumably.
Yep. He's just like, they're helpful people, and they all know where this thing is. That's great.
Okay. She just said she's like, I'm not sure why people would look at us with pity, so I would just be looking at them in confusion.
Okay. So it doesn't take you long, maybe 20, 30 minutes of asking directions and wandering around. It's not a like bad part of town. It's not a particularly amazing part of town, but suddenly you open into this large square. In the center of it is a pretty large 50-foot diameter fountain. It has like a 2-foot wall ledge around the edge. The surface of the fountain is completely unnaturally still. There is no movement in it whatsoever. Around in the square around the pool, there's a bunch of shops. There's restaurants and bars and coffee parlors, etc. Standing around the pool are probably about a dozen creatures, humans, elves, gnomes, actually mostly humans, and they're all just staring into the pool.
Okay, they're all just kind of blankly staring.
Exactly. You do notice also one of them is like crawled up to the edge of the pool, like it seems like he's too weak to stand, and he's like grasping the edge of the pool and looking in. Looking around further, you also notice there are a couple of figures like that aren't standing, but are on the ground, that are also similarly like looking into the pool, but they look like they're on death's door.
But they're not at the edge. Are they at the edge of the pool, or are they
Yeah.
just...
Yep.
What is going on with this? This is creepy. Enid, you don't look in the pool. Just, I'm gonna go up there and see what's going on, but just wait here and make sure I'm okay. If I end up looking like that, just for more than a couple minutes or something, just come grab me.
All right. You walk up to the pool?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk up to the pool.
Okay. I'm going to flip back to the other group. I want you to think about what is Aezsh's most treasured, perfect image of happiness for himself.
Okay.
And I'll be back.
Oh, Eric's back.
All right, everybody, put your pets away. Hoff's back.
I was just gonna show you my picture of my parents' dog.
Oh my gosh, it's a husky.
Husky's the best.
All right, I'll put her back down. She's annoyed.
He is a handful, but I love him. He's my puppy. He's my
So,
puppy.
what is the plan?
So did we decide that we were going to try and approach this Antillon dude and just kind of talk to him? Or do we want to just back off and follow up later? Those were the
Back
two.
off.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards back.
Yeah, just because like the fact that like everyone cleared out of the street and everything is just kind of like, maybe we should find out why people keep giving weird looks to tabaxis before.
Yeah, and we know he's Antillon, so that's a lead.
True.
We can follow up on that.
Yeah, I'm cool with just kind of walking away, not engaging in this.
Yeah, so why don't we move back toward the
Because one of
docks?
these, I'll see you.
No, I don't think you will.
He turns and walks away with his retinue.
You're pretty popular, Kida.
This is the worst kind of popularity since the monk prom.
Monk
Honestly.
prom. That sounds like a wild time.
I want to hear about that, but later.
Yeah. Good old monastery prom. A lot of repentance involved.
Okay, you guys.
Leave room for nothingness.
Yeah.
That was good.
So you guys keep on going to the docks. You notice that same little gray-skinned gremlin that gave you the meat on a stick. You see it flying across the sky as you approach the docks. So you get back to the docks, and then Grikiki, you're gonna go up the ladder of street urchin.
The ladder of speak urchin.
Basically, find one of the street urchins that initially grabs people off the ship and try to find a more knowledgeable person.
Yes.
The ladders.
I was like, I know that I have trouble keeping track of details, but I do not remember this from earlier in the game. Yeah, Grikiki's gonna try and snag the nearest street urchin and be like, "Where's your boss? I want to tell him what a good job you did."
Oh, hey, Copper.
Yeah, but only if you take me to your boss.
Okay. So eventually you find yourself at that same coffee place that Falcon got his tea, the Spotted Snake. The two old guys are still outside of it, pointing at the pilots and making fun of them. The urchin leads you in, and sitting at a table, kind of in back, like a booth, is a gnome that's just kind of sitting there, just kind of scanning things. He's got some papers in front of him. The street urchin points and then holds out his hand.
Copper.
Okay. He takes it happily and scampers off.
Does the old gnome look like he'd speak Sailor's Can't?
Yes.
Grikiki greets him in Sailor's Can't and says, like, "Hey, traveler, well met. You think we could borrow some of your time?"
Oh yeah, for sure. Have a seat. Always happy to meet another proper sailor. Your name's Milcock. Puts his little gnomish hand over to you.
Grikiki takes it. Grikiki.
Okay. Massive, massive head. Oh yeah, and bring your mates too.
Yeah, this is my crew. This is Belloryn and Ratha and Falcon and Kida. We're
Nice to meet you.
well, I mean, I guess we're not from Offworld, but we just got here from Offworld. We're wondering if we could ask you a few things about Brawl and some of the people we've met here.
Oh yeah, I know all the sorts.
The sleeper gang? Who's the
Oh,
sleeper
yeah.
gang?
They're jerks. They work for whoever pays them.
They are jerks.
Very effective. I mean, put you to sleep. No bloodshed. Works well.
So they're just mercenaries?
Yeah, they just work for whoever pays them.
Is it a big gang? Because we saw like 6 of them.
Oh yeah, they've got 20, 30 odd. All magic users.
Great.
I know, right?
And then we saw an Antillan noble that had some tabaxi.
Kida, how careful are you trying to conceal your?
Oh, that's
what
right.
you are?
Well, it doesn't really matter. Grikiki still points at Kida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I kind of lift my hat off a little bit
Okay.
to show the ears and then put
Okay.
it back
He looks
down.
over at you. He's like, "Where's your collar?"
Excuse me?
She doesn't have a collar.
Never met a tabaxi didn't have a collar. There aren't many of them either.
What are
And
the
why would I have a
collars?
collar?
Well, they're all Antillan slaves. Every last
Kind
one.
of bristle at this, and I'm like, excuse me?
Every last one of the tabaxi people are slaves to the Antillans.
All of them?
The whole
I'm
people, as far
not.
as I know. Never met one that didn't have a collar.
Well, now you've met one.
Kida's free.
And where do the Antillans find the tabaxi?
I don't know. It's just the way it's always been.
Does the sleeper gang kidnap Tabaxi for the Antillans by chance?
Not. I mean, there's no kidnapping of tabaxi. They're all slaves.
Clearly that's not true, since I'm sitting in front of you.
Well, all right. I've been around this rock for a long time. I've sailed all over these skies and these stars, and I have never seen a tabaxi without a collar on before you.
How much does a slave cost?
What kind?
Like a
That's a-
tabaxi slave.
They're not for sale. Like the Antillans, it's like a hereditary thing.
You mean they're inherited?
Yeah,
Or that they just naturally own them?
yeah.
The claws start going into the chair.
Both of those things. I mean, you could go to the slave market if you want to get a price on her.
Now I think I want ale.
Excuse me?
I'm just saying, I don't know what the Antillans would pay for a free tabaxi.
Well, presumably nothing, since I'm not for sale.
I mean, not now, you mean.
I really, really want to punch this guy.
Okay, so just hypothetically speaking, if an Antillan saw a free tabaxi, what might they do in order to acquire them?
Oh yeah, they definitely make some plans to snatch one. It's part of their pride. It's their thing as a people. You know, the Antillans, they're very proud.
Could we get our papers of like
Emancipation.
That's emancipation.
emaciation?
She already has those papers.
It's not a papers thing. It's all the tabaxi are owned by the Antillans. That's how it is. It's always been.
Well, this
And how
one
long
isn't.
is always?
What do I look like a goddamn historian to you?
Yes, you seem like you know quite a lot,
I
actually.
know a lot, but I don't know ancient history. I mean, I've been around for more than 150 years, and as far as I know, it's always been that way.
Kida is a citizen of White Star. She's a practitioner of the Way of Nothingness and a graduate of Agenfort Adventuring Academy.
Yeah, I noticed the stud. That's pretty impressive.
Thanks.
I mean, I'm not saying I want to enslave you. I'm just like, don't get mad at me. You guys came in here.
He's got a point, Kida.
We just want to make sure that
He has
it's
the-
crystal clear to anyone that the Antillans talk to that this isn't like a mistake or something. Like, Kida's a free citizen. She's not a slave now, and she's never been a slave, and she's never going to be a slave. And we don't want any kind of like runaway rumors or anything like that.
Well, I mean, the Antillans don't see it that way. The Antillans just see it as she's an escapee.
Well, the Antillans can go fuck themselves.
And Belloryn's having a little conniption. No.
I'm gonna go back to Aezsh. All right. So what makes Aezsh happy?
So I sent it to Renee, and she said as Aezsh is going over to the pool, she's gonna be like hanging onto his hand, trailing behind, but just like keeping her eyes kind of down and making sure to not look into the pool.
Okay, cool.
But Aezsh's like thing that he would say for that would be like he would see like himself and Enid like slightly older, but as like an accomplished adventuring duo. But in particular, like they're like a competent accomplished adventuring duo, and his family kind of looking, especially his parents, looking on approvingly. And Enid's doing the same for her, but like because his family, you know, doesn't super approve of the adventuring life, and he wants to do what he wants, but he wants them to approve of it.
Cool.
And he wants to find success in his pursuits.
Awesome. So as you approach the pool, its perfectly reflective surface briefly glimmers and shows you of the barest fraction of that image before the stillness of the water is disturbed. And 4 hulking, absolutely huge, 15-foot tall water forms emerge from around the reflecting pool. The people watching the pool don't seem to notice. All the other like patrons, like restaurant and cafe visitors and whatnot, start getting up and leaving. These 4 hulking forms resolve into humanoid creatures, and they step out of the pool and walk to form a perimeter around the square.
Oh, they're forming a perimeter around the entire square?
Yes.
Okay. Aezsh is just gonna call out Meliandra.
Okay.
I'm here.
You see emerging from the pool, just kind of lifting up, 12 blue-skinned Merid genies, 6 male, 6 female. They look like they're noble class. They have this amazingly gaudy jewelry and outfits. It seems like they spent untold riches to make themselves look impressive. These 12 figures arise out of the pool. They're just walking on the water. They walk off. They are now surrounding the pool. They turn towards it and they kneel.
Does Enid see that?
Yes.
Does she see them?
Yes,
Okay.
sees all of this.
Okay. So they all turn. They come out, circle the pool,
Yep.
faced in towards it,
Yep.
and kneel. Okay. I also am gonna take a cue and kneel, and I'm gonna like pull Enid kind of on her arm to get her to do likewise.
Good call. Emerging from the pool is this spiral-horned, blue-skinned, very alien but very powerful-looking creature. Emerges. It's itself 10 or 12 feet tall. This massive, towering form that is just floating on the water at the center of the pool and looking down at you. She has a brief smile and then gestures to all of the Merid and you, please rise.
We do so.
Good. She walks across the water to you, looks down at you from this towering height. Aezsh, you will do my will in this sphere. There is a corruption polluting the water of this whole crystal sphere that needs to be cleansed.
Tell me where.
I will in time. For now, I will give you a book to enhance your powers and connection to me. She extends a hand, and the book that we found a good image of, I don't have it on me right now, appears, and she lowers it down for you to take.
I reach up and take the book.
Okay.
Thank you.
As you take the book, you feel like the book itself should be like waterlogged and watery, but when you take it, it feels also normal. And you, as you do so, you feel a little bit of a tug between you and Meleandra that you know will allow her to communicate with you in the future directly.
Interesting. I take the book and I accept it and thank you. And I guess at this point, I guess I'm still holding on to Enid's hand there. I take it with the one hand.
Okay.
Thank you.
She steps back into the center of the pool. This corruption of the water is from a terrible other universe, and we will cleanse it in time.
Yes, Meleandra.
She nods. She sinks below the water again, and the process reverses. The other noble Merid go in, face out, and they sink below, and then the four massive water elementals thud into the reflecting pool, and then also dissolve into it.
Wow. And all these people who have been just kind of glassy-eyed, did they react at all to any?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
They're just like.
Yep. They're just
staring.
Yes. And you see actually one of them that looks like pretty bad off, like take a kind of shuddering breath and then stops breathing and his eyes close.
Oh, dang.
And I'll bring you back to the group.
He returns.
You're muted, Erik.
Thank you. You gonna ask Milcock anything else right now?
I'm going to show him the symbol of the rose that I have and ask if he recognizes it or if he's seen it before.
Can't say as I has.
Dang. All right.
What's the best bar in town?
The best bar in town is the Dancing Lady, especially for adventurers like you.
What's the best place to get a tattoo in town?
Oh, now that one. I'll show you myself.
Where's a good place to get clothes in town?
Clothes, you can get anywhere. Plenty here on the docks, further in the fancy spots.
Back to the Dancing Lady real quick. Why is it so good for adventurers?
It's where all the adventurers go.
Ask a silly question.
If you could give one piece of advice to anyone new to Brawl, what would you tell them?
Oh, Lassie, it's a good question. One piece of advice. Everything's for sale.
Everything but one.
Also, quick question. Has anyone here ever heard of Bartholomew the Brazen?
Are you asking in front of Milcock?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, good old Bart the Brazen. That old scoundrel. I think he still owes me some money.
I see.
He owes us money too.
Yeah,
So-
if you see him, send him my way. I got a note about it somewhere.
So if someone came here who were associated with him, would that person need to keep that fact under wraps?
Oh, I mean, they'd be shaken down and probably enslaved to pay his debts.
Thank you.
Give me a deception.
Congrats, you're an orphan now.
Deception check, Dear Falcon.
Oh, fuck.
I'm going to assist.
Guidance.
I'm going to be talking nonstop while he's trying to do this
Actually,
to
no, I won't
distract
do
a bit.
Okay, that's 14 and 14.
Okay, great.
Have we met Gear Falcon's dad?
Yeah.
We know his dad is Bartholomew the Brazen.
Yeah,
He was at
He got us very drunk.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So are you done with Milcock?
Yes.
Yes.
I am.
All right. Gonna head back to meet up with Aezsh and Enid.
Sounds
Yes.
like a plan.
And maybe buy some clothes on the way. Just something
Okay.
to
Yes.
cover the fur.
Yeah, that is totally doable.
And
that
some
would be
hats.
just, 2 gold Kida, mark off, and add in nondescript clothing.
Speaking of buying things, can Aezsh buy like some kind of way of affixing that his new book to his belt
Yeah, it
at
actually
one of the
has.
nearby shops? Or does
So
it have
you
a way of
notice
doing that?
Yeah, so you notice that as you are like, how do I put this thing? And you move it close to your body, that a tendril of water sneaks out of it and loops itself around whatever you attach it to on your person.
That is
Very
so
cool.
What have you been up to?
Silly questions.
Okay, you guys meet up outside of the shareholder company office as the door opens and Zyron steps out, and that is where we will call it.
Woo!
Ah!
All right. What is this, Lizzie? What is
Oh,
it? Oh, you're playing with your cat.
yeah.
Oh,
Kitty!
all right. Well, you guys, goddamn elves.
Yay! Immunity to sleep.
That was pretty awesome.
You're all asleep. No, we're not. No, we're not.
Like, literally none of the ones you
Just
just listed.
kidding.
None of us.
Well, it's like little kid pretend
games.
I am immune to bullets.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
I thought you were gonna say it. I'm not sleepy. I'm not sleepy.
So you guys landed on the Rock of Bral and explored it a bit. Got jumped by the sleepers. Fought them off. They think you got something valuable, and then confronted Antilla Noble and his Tabaxi slaves, and he definitely marked Kida for future ownership potential.
Suck it.
I missed something interesting here.
Oh yeah, my whole race is enslaved, just by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
no wonder we can't find any of them.
Yeah.
Hey, you did miss all that.
And
So we're gonna
Aezsh is
go
gonna
free
have
an
a very
entire
fancy
race.
new
Just-
fancy new object whenever you all see him
I was
again.
gonna say, and Aezsh has a fancy new book dangling from his
It's
belt.
very, very fancy. I'll have a picture of it. I'll put in chat next time.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait.
And Grikiki has a new spirit guide.
Yeah. It's very
Form
exciting.
Of her
And she's gonna have a new accompanying tattoo.
Awesome.
But not a pirate hat.
Ah,
Wait, Sam, look at your camera.
Yep.
All right, you're good.
I have no idea what just happened, but I assume it was a screenshot.
On 1 second.
While Lizzie's doing that, I just as another little thing, I named my pistol.
oh really?
Oh, what is the pistol?
I named it Salamandra
Cool.
after a Yu-Gi-Oh card and an organization from The Witcher.
Oh nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, Sam, is Aezsh named the Pelican yet?
Oh shoot, I did have a name for it and I forgot it.
Oh,
Dang it. I'll see if I can remember what I might have it written down somewhere. I'll see
Name
if I
it
can get
Jack-
it by next session because
name
I
it
did
Jack
actually come up
Septic-
with one.
Name it Jacksepticeye's Eye after the guy from the meme.
I can't remember. I had something. I'm pretty sure I wrote it down somewhere. I'll see if I can find it.
okay, cool.
Oh.
All right, well, thanks for the game, you guys.
Yep.
Yeah, that was great.
Bye.
There you go, Sam.
Yay.
Bye.